Welcome, first graders. So today you're going to take out your flowers that you cut out last time, your vase that you cut out last time. You have your weaving, which has all the tabs glued. And we're going to take this, kind of move it off to the side to start. And we're going to take out our art book. With our art book, the first thing we're going to do is, once again, tear out one sheet. So I'm holding up in the corner here, I'm holding up here, and I'm going to pull it off. Okay, so now I'm going to put that off to the side here, and what we are going to do is create stems for our flowers. Now, if you have an adult with a ruler, you could ask them for some help. I would make it about this wide. I like to draw the lines because it gives me a little bit of a guideline to help me cut on. Whenever I can cut on a line, I always cut a lot straighter. Now, if you don't have a ruler, or you don't have an adult next to you, you could just grab your piece of paper and try to cut straight and cut a stem out, which is about this wide. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that after I'm done cutting these out. So we want to have our stems cut. Grab scissors. Okay. And sometimes it's nice when I have these lines, I'm going to cut on the inside one. You don't have to. And there's my first stem. 2 more cuts. And if you don't have a ruler, you could definitely draw a line on your own. I mean, you'll always draw a straighter line if you start at the top of your paper and you come towards your body. So you could just grab the paper and try to cut a piece out like this. If you don't want to draw it, that works. Or like I said, you could always start at the top of the paper and slowly draw a line down like that. Okay, but you only need 4, so I have 4 here. And with the rest of the paper here, we can draw some leaves. So whenever we draw a leaf for like the daisies, we can make basically the shape of a football. Okay, so it's like a half circle going that way, and then a half circle going the other way. For the tulips, we can make a really long, where it's pointy on one end and then it gets wider on the other. I'm gonna add a couple of those. We'll do 3. Okay. Totally up to you on how many leaves you want to draw and how many of each, or you just want to draw these ones, you can. I'm giving you the option, and I'll show you how I attach them so that we have 2 different kinds of leaves, but again, totally up to you. So now I am going to cut these out. So there's 1. And when I cut stuff like this, I like to have less paper. So when I get to this one, I'll probably cut up And then that way these leaves are kind of separate. Right, and now these. And last week we learned that if we fold a piece of paper in half and we draw something and we cut it out, you get two of the same things. So that's something you could do with these two. You could have folded the paper in half and then gotten multiple with only having to cut once. But sometimes it's nice if they're not all the same. Now, one thing that we're going to talk about with this project is that there's not going to be any details drawn with pencil. I'm going to get rid of my scraps here. So we want everything to be just white. It's the reverse of a silhouette, which is always a black shadow look. So before we even glue it onto our weaving, we want to kind of assemble everything, meaning we put it all together. And there's going to be a back side and a front side. And so wherever you see pencil, and I have a little bit where my finger's pointing, wherever you see pencil, that is going to be the back. So we're always going to try to put glue, if we can, on the side that has the pencil so that we hide that. I'm going to grab my flowers off of my weaving. So we got the sun shapes, we got the tulips. So again, looking for pencil lines on my flowers. All right, so this one has some right there. So that's going to be on the same side. There's some pencil lines on these because I drew that. So when I have pencil line up. And the first thing we're going to do is attach the flowers to our stems. So I'm going to put a little dot of glue up at the top, and I'm going to glue it down so that I see the pencil lines. Right, and do another one. I really just want to use a little bit of glue, and I only want to put it right on the top. All right, move them around so that I know I don't have glue stuck to the table. Now for my next flower. With these ones, you're going to kind of put it in between a V shape or at the point of a hill. You're going to glue it down like that. So once again, little dot of glue. Check for pencil lines. Because when we glue it down, it's going to look like this. This one doesn't have any pencil lines. Okay, so we have our 4 flowers like that. And now what we're going to do is And we're going to want to keep the leaves up higher on the flower. So I'm going to put a dot of glue there, and then going to glue that on this one. Right, and you could put one on, you could put two on. Right, and then our tulips, these are a little bit different because the tulip has longer leaves. And so what you do, these leaves come from way down here, and our vase is going to cover up a lot of this. So I'm going to glue one down at a time, and then I'll show you how we'll trim it. So get these as low as you can. Okay. And so you can kind of see how this kind of looks ugly here. We can take it now and we can trim it so that it goes down to the stem. We can trim the stem too. So there's that one. And now for the other one. So it's okay if you have weird kind of square ends down here. This one's going to be really funny. Okay. And after you glue it, you can trim it. All right. So now we have our 4 flowers, and now we're going to kind of see what it's going to look like for next week when we attach it. Just watching how much time we have. I was going to glue it on, but we'll save that for the following week because my in-person students are a little bit behind. So you can kind of see how it's going to look, but don't glue them down. So my vase goes on the bottom here. And what I'm going to do is kind of play around with the flowers. So you can put them at different heights. Some can be in front, some can be behind, some can be lower. And then the vase will go over the top. And that is what it will look like. Right. So let all of those dry. Keep everything nice and neat with your weaving. You can keep it like this until next class, and then I will explain how to glue down the vase and the flowers and all of that. Right. Have a great Easter break, everyone, and I will see you in a week.